Let's check out Rune. I don't think this is something I've I have looked at this before. I have stuff on my chart. All right. The context of my analysis here is I don't really look at this chart much, so you're going to see me. The cool thing about this is even though I'm not going to jump straight to knowing exactly what I'm going to say, you're going to watch me piece this together, and that is valuable in and of itself. So you're going to see where I start. I typically like to start on the weekly. And I like to know, wow, no way. Huh. So this also went up during bearish market. Why do I not know about this project? That might be the biggest run in all of crypto. Maybe besides Hex. That might even be bigger than Hex. That's pretty damn impressive. Wow. Holy cow. 209,000%. Yikes. Wow. Okay, anyway. Holy shit. So start on the weekly. How big was the run so I can get kind of a base point, and then I'm going to start putting horizontals on here and piecing this together. Even though there's not much structure here, so this is probably where fibs worked. If you did a fib retracement, that might be what's happening here. So fibs, I kind of shit on fibs earlier, but they can work, especially if you just have a massive run up. Where does it have to stop? So you have this. Okay, now that I have some horizontals, I want to measure down from peak top. Most altcoins are going to lose 95% of their value. And what does that align with? Again, TA is not astrology for men. Like, shit aligns. You can get probabilities. So I would guess by 2022, it's going to hit right at $1. And that could be a bottom for it, because that's a psychological number. That's an intensely psychological number, and it's perfectly 95% down. However, there is a chance, though, because this coin was so like this. Wow, I don't know about this coin. This is something else, but it's possible. So this would be a good candidate for one that doesn't go down 95%, but rather only 90, and it just and because there's nothing between these lines supporting it, what that would mean is it wants to hold this, and when Bitcoin finally has its last blow or makes its higher low, it only wicks below, then immediately jumps right back up. Does that make sense? So it could be somewhere in this space where you can catch wicks, but it is a candidate for it could want to hold this and then wick down and come right back up, and the best buy you could get is like $1.66. That is possible. However, I would still guess fairly confident, moderately confidently, that it's going to get closer to $1 over time. Let me put on the weekly 10 here. Yeah, you're having a lot of lower highs here. So, and this is a descending triangle. It could break up. So, if it were to hold this, what I could see if it were a candidate to not go down to $1, that would actually be pretty similar. It would wick down, come right back up, and essentially maintain this triangle and then recover. That is possible, and that would be somewhere around $1.70, $1.66. But it's probably going to get one wick below this bare minimum or hit that down there. But if it does, it'd probably want to snap right back up and hold that triangle. So this is more of a long-term analysis over 2022 so far. Short-term. Okay, this is a perfect example of how you can work yourself out of a hole when you find support below the true support. So this was high, lower high. Because it found support below this, it's extremely likely that the next high will be lower than the previous high, which is obvious because this is up so high, so that happened. But the way to work yourself out after you lose support, so it lost the support here, right? The way you can work yourself out is by making higher lows, and it did. So I think this has a chance to come retest, a strong chance of coming to retest the 10. Is it guaranteed? No, but it is it is behaving like a boxer who got, like let's say one boxer is favored, and that favored boxer got, a wild right hand, took a wild right hand, and he fell down or whatever, but he stands back up and starts winning the fight. That's kind of what this is here. Losing, so particularly on this horizontal, it found support below the true support and then worked its way out of that hole by making higher lows. So it looks like it might want to over time pop up in the short term to test the weekly 10 again, something like this. And then price might want to keep its higher low structure and work its way up, wick above, and then come back down and retest this. Let me make that pink. Oh, pink's not good against red, is it? Let's do green. There we go. That's better. I could see it. Yeah, that'd be a big move up. I mean, it could easily happen. It's doing the work it needs to do that. That'd be a 50-60% move up. I could see that happening. I think it's going to come test the weekly 10 and come back down here would be my guess in the midterm. The very short-term time frames, since Bitcoin and traditional markets are wishy-washy, I don't think there's much of an edge either way. But because this horizontal is so strong, I think even if Bitcoin wants to test down and hit my box that I had, this is going to stay above here. And then when Bitcoin keeps going sideways, Bitcoin doesn't need to go up for this to test its weekly 10. Bitcoin just needs to not go too far down. It can go sideways and float. And Rune could come up and still test $5.20 or whatever if Bitcoin goes sideways. So that would be my guesses right now. But again, volatility is really reducing right now, so there's not much to do. But those would be my price path guesses for short/midterm and long term for Rune.